Hey guys, welcome back to Red Acres Homestead here. Wanted to go over something with you guys. I've been doing home orcharding for several years now. I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about pruning your trees. This is a pear. See right there, an Orient pear. And this was one I bought from Lowe's, I think. Lowe's are one of the local nurseries. And you can see I've already done some pruning to it. I shortened these limbs here, and what I did, this is generally the rule of thumb, I went with an outward bud, cut it at an outward bud. That means it's going away from the center of the tree, and I didn't cut it flat like this. I cut it so the water would shed off of it. So like right here, that bud, rather than cutting it flat where water would sit on it, take the chance of it splitting or getting mold. Not that that's too, I mean, it's really probably not that big of a problem, but cut it like that in that outward bud. See, there's the center of my tree. It's coming that way. Something you generally want to do, you want your lowest branches to be the longest. So something that I've done here, you know, I shortened all these taller branches. I topped this tree out because I'm not wanting this tree to be 30 or 40 feet tall like you see some pear trees. You know, this pear tree 10, 15 feet tall is about as tall as I want it, so I topped it. That tree over there, that's another pear tree. It's a little taller than I really want it. That's the top about right there, or that's about as tall as I want it. So I topped it too. A couple of the things that I'm gonna do, this little cluster right here, that's one limb, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, because really I've kind of cut it to where it's one limb, but it's really 4 different limbs coming off of that main limb. And then I've got 1, 2, because this one splits, 3, 4 main limbs, and I can't decide if I want to keep this one or that one. I think space wise it would be better to keep this one, even though that one's more established, but I've got time. You know, it's not like I've got to have a crop this year. So one of the things I got to do, I want to thin this out. The 4 limbs on this one limb, that's going to end up being way too heavy. I'm going to probably cause some splitting. So one of the things I'm going to do is, I think I've been looking at this for a couple of weeks and just evaluating for sure what I want to do. I know I'm going to end up taking this top part out right here. Yeah, I'm 100% sure that's what I want to do, because see, I've got these growing out here, where that fork is, and then where that limb is. That's going to kind of end up, as those grow, those are going to end up butting together, because you guys, I don't know if you can tell from the camera view, but they're going to end up intersecting. So I'm just going to go ahead and eliminate that problem. I could cut it here and let that outward spur go, but I don't want that outward spur because I've got these right here. So I dropped my shears. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I could probably saw this, but I think I'll be fine cutting it with these with one hand. So see, that just opened that up a lot. Gave it a lot more light, a lot more airflow. Now, the second thing I'm looking at, these two are really kind of in each other's way. See, I've got these two. I let these go, this go, and this go. But that's going to end up growing into that. This thing, this spur right here is going to end up growing into this limb. And then I don't know. I don't really like that. The way it's already drooping like that, it's heavy on the end. Even if I'm going to shorten it. So I think I'm going to take this out, and then the way, because it's sort of, even though they're not growing out of the same union, this is the center. And James Prigioni, if you guys watch the gardening channel with James Prigioni, one of the things he talks about, and he got it from Paul Gauchi, is to take out the center. So since this would be the center, I'm thinking I'm going to take that out and allow that air, they give that more airflow, more light. So I'm going to come down here and I'm gonna cut this. So I just got that opened up a lot more, guys. Now I'm probably gonna end up coming back and cutting this and this, because that's gonna end up growing into here. But that's the thing, that's what I want to tell you guys. When you're pruning, first of all, don't be afraid that you're gonna take out too much. You can take out about 30% of the tree every year and it'd be perfectly fine. That was not nearly 30% of the wood of the tree. But you don't have to do it all at once, guys. Take out a limb and then wait and just look at the tree. Come back out a couple days later, look, see if you like it. Say, envision the tree if that limb weren't there. For instance, if I wanted to take this limb, which I don't, but let's just say I did, I'm thinking about it, I could say, you know, okay, let me look at it like this for a few days. And then I can come back in a week and make it and cut that. I don't have to do it all at one time. So don't get in too big of a rush. If you can do it all at one time, that's great. And see, I'm still thinking that this limb is gonna go, because I've got that one there. They're growing out of the same place, and I don't need to have two growing out of the same place like that. And just for space, because this one and this one are so close, and then I've got that one there, I'm thinking about letting this one grow and become my 1, 2, 3, 4th main limb, plus the central leader. Hey, Arya, say hey. Say hey. So I'm thinking about leaving that one there and cutting out the bigger one, even though somebody might cringe at that. I think that's going to end up being what I do. But again, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to make that cut yet. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to look at it and reevaluate. And, you know, I may end up cutting back more. I may end up cutting something out of here, because I don't really like the way these two are with that and that. I'm afraid those are going to end up intersecting, but I'm not going to do that today. I actually took one out of the middle. This was a third. That's an old scarred over cut right there. So I am going to go ahead and cut this, because I don't want that there. So, and then I would cut, I've already pretty much done that, but I would cut anything growing back toward the center of the tree. Anything growing back toward the central leader. And I really don't have anything other than some small spurs, but I'm going to leave those for right now. But just some advice, guys, on pruning trees. And this is, we'll go over, kind of look at what I've done with the peach trees there. I've still got some cuts I'm going to make on those peach trees. But guys, it's kind of, there's science to it, but there's also art. So you have to appreciate the science, but also there's art to it. It doesn't, you know, you and I two people can go prune the same tree and it look very different, and doesn't mean I'm doing it right and you're doing it wrong. It's just different. Now there is a right and a wrong way to prune a tree, but there's a lot of right ways to do it. So thanks, guys, for checking out Red Acres Homestead. I'm gonna head back inside. See the ducks way over there in the background in the tractor. I had them out free ranging over here to right over there. Their water's all dirty. Had their food over there by that peach tree. Let them forage. They found they spent a lot of time over here foraging next to the base of this pear tree. So guys, if you're wondering, people have asked me about this. This is actually, you guys are probably gonna laugh, this is Gorilla Glue. And what it was this summer, I needed to make a cut. I had a limb that was growing out of here off the central leader all up into that stuff. It was intersecting and it was getting really heavy and drooping. I just went ahead and cut it because it was summer. I didn't want it to dry out. We were having 100-degree days. I didn't want it to dry out. I didn't want bugs to get to it. So I took some Gorilla Glue and just poured some Gorilla Glue on there to seal it, because I didn't have any wax or anything like that. But it's probably not the greatest thing to do, but it doesn't seem to have hurt the tree at all. Thanks, guys, for checking out Red Acres Homestead. Please subscribe to our page. Check out some of our other videos. If you guys are interested in learning about ducks and raising ducks, check out Duck Days on the Homestead, the playlist. Trevor with Red Acres Homestead is out.